Alright, so boom. We open season 4 up, and I'm not gonna lie, off the bat, my nigga Kenny was getting bullied straight on the bus. Now, me and him had a similar life, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I was younger, I loved those type of World of Warcraft games, Wizard 101. I basically was a little geek in the school, you know what I'm saying? I did get made fun of that because I like those type of games. But lo and behold, I'm not gonna lie, they made fun of bro just for vibing. And I fully understand why he had a revenge arc on that nigga LaRusso. That nigga bullied him for no apparent reason. It's just because he was a new kid. Like, it got to the point where they bullied this nigga for being good at basketball. Like, I ain't gonna lie, he was cooking that nigga, and I would be mad too if I was getting cooked like that. Like, getting cooked like prime Kobe. That shit crazy. Now, mind y'all, he's already new to the school, and his dad's in the military, and his bigger brother is basically in jail, so he lives with his mom. Now, the form of humiliation rituals that this nigga went through just to get to the phase he is now in the recent season of Cobra Kai has to be crazy. They literally made a fake account on the game he was playing and named themselves Princess Leia just to prove a point to him that they shouldn't basically fuck with him. And it's crazy because he fell for it. Bro showed up in a cosplay costume to the park at night. Mind you, where are these niggas' parents, bro? Hey, but I can't lie to y'all boys. He had that shit on, though. My nigga Kenny put that shit on. So it got to the point where they basically chased this nigga all the way home. He managed to escape, but then the next day on the bus, they threw spoiled milk at that nigga head. Oh, and that's when he had enough. Me personally, I would have had enough too. I ain't gonna lie. Getting bullied every day sucked. When I was younger, I used to get bullied too. Don't tell nobody I told y'all that. Boom, we go to the next scene, and his only option was to go to his brother that's in juvenile. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Being in juvie, I'm not saying you the toughest of the tough, but my nigga, his brother must have done some diabolical shit to be in juvie for that long. Bro said he been in there for like 3 years. And if y'all don't know, in recent episodes, my nigga Robbie was in juvie with his older brother. And Robbie got his get back in there too. So basically, his brother told Kenny, hey, look, I know somebody do karate. He can help you. You know what I'm saying? He can help you with your problem. So boom, my nigga Kenny put up to Cobra Kai, and that's when he got introduced to Robbie. So boom, we skip to the next scene, and basically they get that nigga shot at the you know what I'm saying, at a spot in the dojo. And the only person he had to fight was Kyler. If y'all know who Kyler is, bro, he basically is a bully at the same school that they go to. Now, I hated this nigga Kyler from the time I started watching Cobra Kai, so I wanted him to get his. But I ain't gonna lie, Kenny at first was too scared, so that same day, the dojo, he basically kept running away from my nigga. I ain't gonna cap. So we sorted to the next scene, and basically Robbie found Kenny's house and basically went up there and told him basically stop being a pussy. So the next scene, they all at the dojo, and basically he ran away from Kyler again, and nobody knew why, right? But then Kyler turned around, basically called him a name, and Kenny had enough. My nigga balled up his fist, ran up to him, and just hit the nigga in this shit like a Mike Tyson punch. I'm not gonna lie. He hit bro so hard that they sensei basically told him he could take Kyler's spot. And that's crazy as hell. How you hit a dude so hard? Mind you, Kyler like 2 times his size. My nigga Kenny did so good. Matter of fact, he was pulling all the hoes the next day at school. They was fucking with the Cobra Kai shirt. So at this point, Kenny knew he had a chip on his shoulder. And I'm not gonna lie, even at school, the Miyagi-Do niggas was still trying to bully on him. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. We all know how bad Cobra Kai was. So the Miyagi-Do niggas basically saw Kenny in the locker room. It basically was Joseph on that nigga, basically telling him he ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? His dojo sucks and everything like that. And Kenny was just about to hit him. My nigga Hawk come in there and grab his hand, basically told him to fuck off. Even when Kenny started learning at the dojo, my nigga LaRusso was still messing with him at school. Bro ended up taking his clothes, which I think is highly illegal, by the way. Took his clothes and ran away. And basically Kenny went out there nude. And it's crazy, like, where are these teachers? Where are these principals? Like, I'm telling you, this show made no sense sometimes. Like, niggas was not getting in trouble. So we skip to the next scene in the dojo, and this is when Kenny basically started to get his own, you know what I'm saying, his own groove in the dojo. Now, he had to fight Robbie this day, and I'm not gonna lie, this nigga Robbie's like Thanos compared to that nigga. So it's like, he got the gauntlet. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, the way Kenny basically used his power against him was crazy. Robbie has a soft heart for Kenny, and basically, Robbie beat him twice. And my nigga Silver basically told Kenny, stop being a pussy, like, toughen up, use his weakness against him. So basically, Robbie hit him again. Kenny fake getting hit, fake like he was sad, but then he tripped my nigga Robbie up, and he won the fight, basically. So boom, we going to the next scene, and the show know what they was doing, bro. They put Robbie versus my nigga Kenny in the quarterfinals in the basically the All Valley tournament. Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro, we all know who gonna win this fight. We all know who won it. My nigga Robbie put belt to ass. And it's only because he got the size and he got the experience over that nigga. So basically, after Kenny lost the match, he went to the locker room, and that nigga LaRusso basically went to go apologize to Kenny.
I'm sorry.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes it is too late to apologize to a nigga, bro. Because, like, you sit there and bully my nigga for, like, 3 seasons straight. And now, all of a sudden, trying to apologize when you know how to do karate. Nah. And, again, Kenny put belt to ass to that nigga. Like, this time, he was not stopping. He kept punching and punching and punching. Like, he was not stopping, basically. And I don't blame him. Alright, so boom, we skip to the next scene, and basically Cobra Kai and Miyagi are at the water park. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, Kenny's already in minutes at this point. He's already starting problems with Cobra Kai. So basically Hawk and Kenny get into it, and I'm not gonna lie, Hawk basically showed Kenny who was boss, and then Robbie jumps in and steps in and it helps. But turns out my nigga Robbie switched over to Miyagi though in the snake Cobra Kai, and Kenny didn't fuck with that.
Close that back door, can you shake that back home?
So I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, Kenny turned into a menace because everybody basically staked him, and Kenny's life is already some shit, so it's like, I see where he's coming from. And at this point, I swear I thought Kenny would never be good again. I'm not gonna lie, the way Terry Silver and Kreese was in his head, and mind y'all, Kenny's a kid, so it's like, regardless of what he's going through, they still manipulating this dude like to the core. So we fast forward to the next scene, and we got Hawk versus Kenny in the semifinals, and this is basically a placement to see who really going to the finals. Now I'm not gonna lie, this nigga Hawk, I'm thinking, oh, this the OG fighter, you know what I'm saying? He's a champion at one point. No way he can lose to Kenny. But little did y'all know, my nigga Terry basically taught Kenny how to do some little thing called the silver bullet. And basically Kenny put belt to ass and basically almost killed my nigga Hawk, man. RIP my nigga Hawk. Hey, but my nigga Kenny wasn't done. He still had the vengeance going towards my nigga Robbie. And at the end of the season, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it was a brawl for all, my nigga. What? It was Cobra Kai versus Miyagi though, and this was the fight of the century. Now, Robbie the whole time was trying to be the peacemaker and trying to get my nigga Kenny to basically back off and, you know what I'm saying, join Miyagi though. But Kenny was not going for none of that. He was too deep in at this point. Hey, so we start off the fight, and basically Robbie's blocking everything that Kenny's throwing at him. Now, Robbie's in the middle of that. We basically telling Kenny, hey, I'm not your enemy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fight you. You might like my little brother for real. You little bro. Not gonna lie, Kenny turned around and hit this nigga with a crazy ass move that he hit with Hawk, but even 10 times harder than Robbie. And I'm not gonna lie, it had that nigga gasping for air. I'm like, oh yeah, this shit is over with. Now look, at the end of the day, I don't blame Kenny for turning into everyone's top op, but Kenny, slow the fuck down, dropping all that bullshit music. You thought you could beat Miguel in a fight? Miguel was putting straight belt to ass on Kenny to save Robbie. I ain't gonna lie, Miguel to go.